Human ingenuity knows no boundaries, especially when their experiments fail. This star system has become something of a tourist attraction, and all for the wrong reasons. This star system is known as Ullivar, a simple yellow main sequence star, 8 terrestrial planets and 1 gas giant. Basically normal rock and stone worlds that are as normal gets, save for the one furthest from the star Ullivar 8. This planet has magma hurricanes. Don't blink at me like you didn't just hear exactly what I bloody said. I will say it again so you can properly hear me. Magma, hurricanes. Simple answer is humans. Suddenly it all makes sense, eh? Humanity was attempting an experiment, like it always does, to accomplish a strange task or test its limitations, like it always is. This time they done goofed so bad, they microwaved an entire planet. This is how it went. Human scientists began building some kind of electromagnetic sensor array around the planet's equatorial regions. This, as it turned out, was an electromagnetic microwave emitter array with millions, I will say again, millions of small civilian-grade microwave emitters. The same kind you can find on your local deli, your ship's mess, or a bar. A massive solar energy collection array set up near the star fills up or charges battery banks the size of cruisers. These battery banks are then transported by barge to the microwave emitter arrays and then used to power the machine. With me so far? Good. Once enough power has been accumulated by the microwave emitters through the batteries, all of that energy is then released in one go by the microwave emitters, blasting the planet's surface. The planet's surface, expectantly, begins to rapidly increase in temperature in short order. The microwaves directly affect the local planet's surface with enough energy to vibrate the atomic structure of sand, dirt, and rock particles, causing friction, which causes heat. Simple. Humans overdid it. They got their initial calculations wrong and corrected after their first experiment. As it turned out, attempt number 2 was what humans refer to as overkill. The microwave emitter array released a microburst of energy so powerful that the planet's surface began to melt. Unfortunately, the off switch wasn't a thing that humans decided to put in, so there began a chain reaction because they put in too many power cells to charge it up this time. The massive heat spike on the planet's surface caused it to crack open like an egg. A planet with a naturally windy microatmosphere with high wind speeds and natural dust devils suddenly became a volcanic planet as its crust opened up. By the time humans figured out how to off, it was too late. 2 dust storms were going on at the time, and everyone was astonished as these storms, denoted as dust devils or tornadoes, suddenly changed color and turned a bright red as they sucked up the molten rock now being spewed from fissures in the planet's crust. These 2 storms grew, fueled by atmospheric pressure, a massive spike in heat diffusion and a huge quantity of new material as the microwaves vaporized rock and stone and dispersed it into the atmosphere. High winds from all the heat drove the 2 cyclonic storms to not only massive size but also made them spin faster with wind speeds in excess of nearly 600 miles an hour. The planet's surface now a constant windstorm with its entire surface now heated up to temperatures high enough to melt rocks. The planet got caught up in a perpetual cycle of heating. That's when the magma hurricanes came into play. Remember those 2 storms? They combined into one massive multi-mile-wide superstorm that started to have enough cyclonic force to suck up molten rock. The combination of a planet facing a runaway microwave effect, constant fissures erupting copious quantities of molten rock and magma, then being sucked into a massive cyclonic storm that created more friction between particles, which created more heat. This entire cycle now keeps a perpetual self-sustaining storm on its surface that can melt starship hulls. Humans being crazy and having no off switch turned it into a tourist attraction after about a year. Every now and then a new storm erupts somewhere on the planet's surface, and it usually either dissipates or converges with the main storm the humans have affectionately named Heidi. And it did not end there, did it? No, it didn't. Humanity made it known they were testing new heat-resistant materials. Nobody knew why. Then when the miracle material Mexilon was unleashed on the galactic market, not only did it make humanity stupidly rich, it also made them more famous than they already were. It's because of what humans used it for. Remember that tourist attraction? They built a space elevator directly inside the hurricane's eye. The elevator follows the hurricane around because the station that supports it in space is supported and secured by a very sophisticated thruster control system that follows the hurricane's movements. The elevator itself contains a viewing port that lets you see outside the station. The views are magnificent, absolutely goddamn terrifying, but still magnificent. Storm clouds of various shapes and sizes, backlit by bright screaming red streaks of molten liquid that bubble out of it, curving out into the eye like a coronal mass ejection. Lightning bolts of trillions of volts suddenly bursting out in brilliant and beautiful displays of purple, blue and white, mixing up the colors in the dust and clouds to create truly spectacular shows. Sometimes the winds will coalesce into the perfect conditions and smaller micro-tornadoes will form on the eye wall surface. Sometimes, if you are lucky, you will get to see a cascade strike, where a lightning bolt hits at just the perfect moment and blasts out in a brilliant display as it crashes across the entire storm wall in a massive wall of multicolored lightning. So here's the kicker. Why did they do this? They wanted to create a super industrial popcorn maker. Yes, do. Facepalm. Shrug. Roll your eyes and pray to your gods. They did that to make popcorn. And this isn't even the craziest thing they did. What about that time they created a microstar during a railgun test? What about that time they created a sentient singularity called Jeff? And also that time they created a continent-sized nuclear bomb crater on Ragthor 2. I might take you to meet Jeff sometime. He's quite a nice guy.